Kept it going. That's cool. Or did it? What's going on? I'm back, guys. Fucking John. I mean, she's Italian. So, I don't know, man. I haven't met all of her family. My ringtone is the joke. Oh, you guys caught the ringtone, huh? It's Archer. I love that show. Yep, I'm back. All right. Thank you. Oh man, anyone who's married tells me you don't ignore the wife. Oh, no sound? What? What do you mean no sound? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Oh, okay. I thought when John said no sound, I was like, oh man, did I somehow start this video like muted or something? I don't even think that was an option, but so yeah, she was gonna go grocery shopping after work and forgot to make a list, so I had to do a quick rundown on just essentials. Luckily, essentials are easy. You know, baby food, baby formula, and then, just meats and sides. Boom, done. The Freemasons hacked my sound. Yeah, I believe it, man. Goddamn Masons. Ruining everything, man. It's fucking bullshit. No, I like the Freemasons. I've met quite a few of them, and I haven't met one that I didn't like. I'm sure that there are asshole Masons out there, just like any other group of people. But the ones that I've met, I really like their company. Seem like really good guys. Whew. So yeah, we were talking about the founders and how 8 of them were Freemasons and all that stuff. Yeah, see, it's the Masons, not the government. No, it's definitely the government, man. Who do you think runs the government, man? I heard it on a podcast, bro. Trump's Illuminati. It's Truminati. Right on, man. Right on. I've thought very, very hard about looking east, and then got news about my son being pregnant, and really, really changed my whole life. But it is something that I would like one day to go ahead and check it out a little bit more. Because I do, I have asked a lot of questions, and everything I've heard so far on it, I do like. So it is something that's very interesting to me. And plus, as a tinfoil enthusiast, I would be lying if I didn't say that I thought, maybe let's see if there's a little bit of credence to some of these things. What's real and what's not, right? Yeah, man, definitely. I love conspiracies. Are they a part of your current channel, or is this like an older one? You can always send me the links. Go. You know what? I'll tell you what. If it's an older channel, go ahead and put a comment on this stream when it ends with the link to your channel. So anyone else that wants to go see it, right there. Yeah, definitely drop that link. I would love to take a listen. I've got like 4 or 5 different conspiracy podcasts I listen to on the way to work and back if there's no YouTube videos to listen to. There's very few YouTubers that I will put on just to listen to. They tend to be the guys that don't use a whole lot of graphics and stuff. They're putting content out there, so I can listen to it, because I really don't like trying to look at a screen while I'm driving. So yeah, John would like to see him, so definitely. Okay, that sounds exactly like it's up my alley. So yeah, please drop the link to that channel in the comments on this stream when it ends, or if you can right now. I don't know if you can, like right now. I don't. Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know how it works. I'm not, like I'll be pretty honest. I don't really get a lot of technology. Like I don't understand how to use half the shit that I do. I just kind of power through it and stuff. Yeah, and speaking of job security, John, I smoke like a fiend and I ride my motorcycle about a buck 40, like on average. I can't help it. So I do this for you, bud. Hey, I've heard that paramedics call motorcyclists donors, like organ donors or something like that. Is that true? Like you guys got like a little like organ donor donation abbreviation that you refer to motorcyclists as? Because the only place I heard that is from my buddy who's a paramedic, but he says a lot of stuff that is just like patently bullshit. So okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, Titan 79. That looks like it's Crypto Country Boy's old channel. So just go ahead and click on his name to check out his channel. I'll be very interested. I'll probably watch some of your videos tonight, but I'm probably not going to lie to you. Oh, no, I definitely wear a helmet. I'm not going to delude myself and think that a helmet's going to do really anything for me at that speed, but I don't know, man. It's like a mental thing. Like, even when I'm riding around in like Arizona or something that doesn't require a helmet, I still wear it just because, one, I don't like riding without a helmet because when you wear glasses to protect your eyes from the wind and you don't have a helmet, like it changes the feeling. I don't really know how to, like, those of you who ride know what I'm talking about, but just like your glasses vibrate more and it just constantly tap. It's just annoying, dude. And if you're riding at anything higher than, I don't know, like 80, you really need to be wearing some glasses on your eyes because if not, you're going to have a bad time. And for some reason, when I'm wearing a helmet, the glasses don't bother me. Doesn't matter what speed I'm going. Yeah, I did it. I did it one time in Arizona, and I just didn't like it, man. I just didn't like it, and the whole time I was riding, like I'm not a nervous rider, like I. So what was it like a geese or something like that? Like on land, they're all uncoordinated motherfuckers. As soon as you get them in the water, though, they're just like real graceful and smooth and stuff. Like I feel like that. Like I'm clumsy when I'm walking around. Like running around, walking around. Like I'm clumsy, dude. I run into shit all the time. But when I'm on a bike, man, it just feels right. It just feels natural for me. But when I was riding around without a helmet on, that like one day in Arizona, it just didn't feel right. Like I was just like I was actually had to think about what I was doing when I was riding, and that's just a weird feeling for me. So, like I said, even when I'm rolling through Arizona or something, I always wear my helmet. Yeah, road debris is horrible, man. I don't necessarily go with a full face shield. Sometimes I do. I've got one of my helmets is a Bluetooth enabled helmet, so the government can listen to me while I'm riding too. And that one's a full face because you're trying to do Bluetooth in a helmet with wind. It just doesn't work. I tried throwing a Bluetooth speaker inside the padding of a helmet. I thought I was really, really slick. I'm not. That was not. It didn't work too well. Worked fine, like on the city roads, but man, as soon as I hit the highway, nah. Paramedics are also superstitious. Okay, yeah, I get that. Marines are pretty superstitious too. Okay, cool. Oh man, are you anywhere near Lejeune? I think that's how you country folks say it. Us Yanks call it Lejeune, Camp Lejeune. My brother's stationed out there, and he gets mad at me whenever I say Lejeune. He's like, "It's Lejeune." I'm like, dude, we're from the same, like, we have the same accent, you and me. It's Lejeune. Look at how it's spelled, bro. Nah, man, it's Lejeune. Like, no, dude, it's all right. He says he really likes it up there, the country, and all that stuff. He went and bought a Jeep. Fucking dumbass. He made, like, I don't know if you guys, I know there's quite a few vets that listen to my channel. But for those of you who don't know, new military members are retarded with money. And if there's any mentally challenged people in here, I don't mean any offense by that. And I was no exception. My first deployment, I came home and I bought myself a Cobra. Like, we just do stupid shit with our money. And this motherfucker goes out and buys like a $55,000 Wrangler, like something like that. Like, can't afford it. Like, he's broke because of this stupid Jeep, man. But he loves it. He loves it. You're in the mountains. Okay. I spend a lot of time up in mountains when I'm in Colorado. I like going to Colorado. I love camping out in the mountains, man. Yep. Rebuilt the old Camaro. I wrenched on an old Saturn. It was my mom's. She didn't have a Camaro. I would love to work on a Camaro. I actually did spend a little bit of time in my life working at a auto shop as a technician, not a like ASC certified or anything like that. So I have gotten to work on a couple Camaros, and when I say gotten to work, I mean like I changed their oil. But I do like Camaros. They're really nice. I even drove one of them around the block back to the parking lot. I really wanted to do a burnout, but the customer, like the guy that owned it, was watching me. And like, I don't blame him. If I had a Camaro and I pulled it into a shop, I'd probably watch those guys too. I was like, man, if he wasn't watching, I would get into some serious trouble right now. Yeah, it is. I enjoy it, man. Like, I've got zero formal education in how to turn a wrench. It's just stuff I picked up along the way by making a lot of mistakes when I'm trying to fix, like my Harley, which is down a lot. It's down right now. A little pissed because I can't figure out why. But, I mean, such is life, right? So loud booms and repeated swearings are not uncommon in my garage. An 87, huh? That's nice. I don't blame you. The biggest conspiracy, man. I gotta tell you, my two favorites are the JFK assassination. There are so many awesome theories about that. And then just the Federal Reserve. Just because it's such a dirtbag organization, man. Like, just straight from inception. It's just terrible. Like, it's not a government agency. The government has absolutely zero power, zero say in what they do. But they have the power to affect every daily Joe's life, man. And so it's not so much like conspiracy theories, but just facts of how it came to be. What the hell was it? Rook Island or something like that. Like on a Christmas Eve, like a secret council meeting, set up and like, hey, we're gonna make this thing, and they just did it. And there was enough powerful people, wealthy people in that meeting that they could do it, and they did. They did it because they could. All right, Faith, have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you pretty soon here. Mine is 9/11. The Rothschilds. Oh my God, there's so much. Civil War. Huh, that would be a new one. Now, I'm a Civil War buff. I actually used to do reenactments when I was in high school. And believe it or not, I'm a Yank, but I fought for the South in the reenactments. Because you country bumpkins know how to fight, and I dig it. I haven't really heard a whole lot of conspiracy theories with the Civil War. You know, there is stuff. I did hear something about like John Wilkes Booth. Or wait, no, I'm getting my assassins mixed up, aren't I? I am. Civil War isn't about slavery. Well, yeah, man, dude. Okay, look, man. War is money. It is big business, dude. War is great for business in the economy. You know, in those industries that supply, you know, boots or bullets or guns. You know, or back in the day, you know, the blacksmiths that made swords and shit. You know, it's all money, man. Like even the Crusades, dude. Like, do you really think the Pope was like, God told me to go bring the word of Jesus to those heathen Arabs? You know, I doubt it, man. He was just like, look, there's a whole lot of land out there that I want that should belong to the Catholic Church. You know, so let's start a holy war. Booth was the assassin of Lincoln. Okay, all right. I'm running a little low on coffee. I think I got about 3 hours of sleep last night. Teething's no fun, man. Okay. I can believe that. And the South was making a lot of money, man. They're making a lot of money. It's big business. You know, when you don't have to pay for labor, there's a lot of profit. You know, which they did pay for their slaves. It was another trade like anything else. They bought their slaves. So that was a cost, but it was nowhere near the cost of paying a free man an hourly wage to work your fields. And personally, I think if the Confederacy, because the Confederates, you know, if you're a fan of military history, they could fight a hell of a lot better than the Union could. You know, so if they had the infrastructure to support a government like in place, I think they could have won. I think it very easily could have. Every president after was actually a CEO of a company. Wait, what? This okay? You're gonna have to explain this one, bud. This is new to me. Reagan wasn't a CEO, man. He was a fucking actor. No, no. Okay, you're gonna have to go with that. Unless you're referring to the fact that the United States is kind of run like a business instead of a country. Oh, I can move this thing around. Oh, look at that. All right, cool. 7 presidents before George Washington. You're talking about just the speakers of the House? Man, You are the true. You know, I apologize if this is actually a picture of you, country boy. I just grabbed a Google picture. You're on a whole nother level, dude. I love it. The U.S. is a business? It's listed on Duns and Bradstreet? What? Huh. It wouldn't surprise me if they're like listed on an exchange. There were a few presidents prior to Washington, huh? Okay. That's news to me, but that's pretty cool. Let's hear more about that. While you guys are going on, I've actually heard a new theory about JFK, the assassination a couple days ago. You guys have heard of the Jackal, right? He's like a back in the 60s was a major like hitman, like assassin. So what I heard was that the Kennedy assassination was actually his first move in like North America. Not that he himself pulled the trigger, but he is in the film of the assassination. The one guy, the only guy there with the umbrella man, that's supposedly the Jackal, right? And he orchestrated the whole thing. He hired like 7 different assassins, 7 different snipers in 7 different spots. And when he closed the umbrella, a second or two before the shots rang out, that was the signal. And that there were actually 21 shots fired that day. Which is interesting as fuck, because I always thought that the babushka lady had something to do with it. Right, the Articles of Confederation. Gotcha. I didn't realize that there were 7 different ones. That's interesting. But yeah, I did know that there was that interim government between the end of the war and when the when the Constitution was established. Hanson, Mifflin. I mean, I'm not sure if that really qualifies as a conspiracy, though, because they weren't really hiding anything. I don't know if they were covering anything up. It was just kind of like great, we won the war. Now what the fuck are we going to do? In the meantime, what's going to happen? Someone's got to be in charge. Okay, I had heard that's where they got the Confederate States from. It was from the Articles of Confederation. So anyway, while I'm waiting to hear back from you guys, I also heard that there were. I don't know how much of this I believe, but I heard that the driver of the car that Kennedy was in was one of the assassins, and that in the original tape, there's 8 missing frames from that tape, like in the original tape, versus what was released to the public. And in those 8 frames, you see the driver kind of turn a little bit and pop a shot off into Kennedy's face, and that's the one where he reels backwards. That from that shot right there. If it's not a conspiracy, why aren't they teaching our kids about it in school? Same reason they don't teach kids about like how to pay taxes, and actual, like, how money works and all that shit, because they're not really. That's a whole nother conspiracy for me, brother. Like, I don't think the education system, the public education system, is really in the business of giving kids the proper education that they will need in their life. The education system, as we know it, was originally intended to teach the public enough, like kind of what they would need to know to go become like factory workers or go work in the mine or something like that. The old industries, agriculture, stuff like this. So there's a lot of shit that's missing out of textbooks, man. There's a lot of stuff. Before World War II, the U.S. saluted the American flag, what is now known as the Nazi hand signal. I don't know about that one, bud, because the origins of the salute go back to the days of knighthood, when knights would lift their visors up so they could identify each other if they didn't, because, okay, so in movies, every knight has like their own crest, right? It's like painted on their shield and all that shit. Well, in reality, a lot of knights weren't, necessarily nobles. What we think of as knights weren't like nobles. Dudes in armor wearing swords, riding a horse and shit weren't nobles. They were just like professional soldiers. So, that was a common practice when two knights, I'm saying knights, when two, armored horsemen, armored cavalrymen, or, however you want to say it, when they would approach each other, if they didn't have standards on their shield or, on their horse or something, they would lift their visors to each other so they could see each other's faces and kind of identify each other. So that's like the origin of the salute. I'm sure there's a second shooter for JFK. If there was only one other shooter, if there was only two shooters, I'd be surprised. Back then, they had like truly semi-automatic weapons back then, but even today, to get was it 3 shots in 7 seconds on target from a distance, like from a decent distance, like we have the training in the weapon advancements to make it today. That's not that big of a task, but back then, the most common ordnances were still, like hunting rifles, stuff like that. So, two guys, it would be definitely be possible, for like old bolt action rifles to fire off 3 shots in 7 seconds. But I'm pretty sure there was more than 2 shooters. It just makes a lot of sense that you would want to have a couple more shooters. And, the government functions in the crowd, yeah, man. The Secret Service, I get that. I totally get that, how you don't want to have every single agent in a freaking suit and tie with an earpiece because they're not hard to spot, who they are. So plainclothes guys, the problem with it is that they're so highly trained, just like military members. They have a certain walk, a certain way that they move, and it's not hard to spot if you know what to look for. But with that being said, I think that the government's smart enough to hire civilians who have never been in the military that are just highly capable individuals to pull extra security. Plus it's the government. They're never exactly who they show themselves to be. Yeah, definitely we can have some...
Nope.
Did the...
Nope. Nope.
Hang on one second, guys.
Nope.
I'll be right back.